Have you ever thought why people no longer perform as impressively as they used to in their jobs? They no longer come to job very early. They no longer stay up late in the evening. Most of the time, it's like they are waiting for the 5 o'clock time to reach for them to go home. Have you ever wondered what changed that? Walk with me as I take you through why people are slowly quitting their jobs. But before we do that, please like, share, and subscribe. Nowadays, it is very common for people to go to a job and clock in maybe from 8 to 5. This is something that never used to, because most people used to love their job and they used to work their job tirelessly. However, due to the current changing conditions, more and more people are currently opting to quit their jobs because they need that check for once. Yeah, yes, I have a family, I have kids, and those kids need food. There are so many bills to pay. The cost of living is skyrocketing, but that is not helping in my job work. I am working in a toxic condition. The pay is low, and these are some of the things that are making so many people to quit. Quitting is basically what happens when a person, maybe he is there at work, he shows up very early. Oh, no, not necessarily early. Okay, if you're supposed to start your work at 8, he will show up at maybe 7:55. He will not be as enthusiastic as he used to be. He's just there to work bare minimal to ensure that he's not sacked. He's when it comes to the targets, the guy no longer beats the target. Most people used to exceed their targets, but they no longer work that hard to beat those targets. And you'll find most people nowadays, if you're supposed to meet certain targets, you just meet the target and then you are done. It's like you are just working to ensure that you don't get sacked. But the way people used to be enthusiastic about work and about everything has changed a lot. This could be due to the following reason. Number one, although the cost of goods have risen and the inflation is so high, the standard of pay is still the same. People are still being paid the minimal wage, and in most cases, the amount that people are getting paid is not equivalent to the amount of work they are putting in. And in most cases, when some of the workers in the company quit, the company no longer hires people to replace them. So what happens is more work is added to you. There's more burden of work, but the pay still remains the same. To make the matters work, even if you work overtime, that is no longer recognized, and although it's supposed to be paid as overtime, it is no longer paid. The second thing that is making people to quit their job is because of toxic work environment. Nowadays, I don't know what's happening with most organizations, but the work environment is super toxic. It doesn't matter if it's your boss or if it's a coworker, but I think it's because of the current living conditions. Most people are the breadwinners in their families, especially those people who work. And since they are the breadwinners, although the salary is not increasing, the cost of living continues to increase. Maybe your family is burgeoning, and maybe more responsibilities are increasing, like there are children that need to go to school. And since you're employed, you're not expected to take your children to public school. Maybe you have pressure from your parents, maybe to send them something. You have the pressure from society to raise your standard of living, because you can't be having a good job and still be having that old rickety car. No, yeah, you'll be seeing like you have stagnated. So there are some of the things that are making people to quit. The other thing that is making people to slowly quit is increasing pressure from the society. If you're employed, and especially if you have maybe a family, there's so much that is expected of you from the society. If you are having a good job, the standard of living is expected to be better than those of the other people. And in so doing, you're expected to live in maybe a better neighborhood. You're also expected to take your children to a better school. Also, because of consumerism, you no longer shop at the same commodity that other normal people shop. So with all this pressure and the pressure that also pressure from the peers, maybe your peers are running more than you, but since you have to maintain the status and since you have to walk the talk like I belong, then you end up having so much pressure. And since your job has stagnated, like the last time you were promoted was like 5 years ago, so the standard of pay is still the same, but the cost of living is increasing. This could be the reason why, maybe as a way of maybe coping up with the challenges at work, people slowly switch off and give their work maybe the bare minimal input that they're supposed to do. Another thing that is making people to slowly quit their job is increasing the targets. If you have never worked in a corporate organization, maybe you don't know what targets are, but for you to get the promotion or for you to get the pay raise. There are standards that are used to measure whether you have been performing well or not. But this standard, although they are set there, they are usually biased, and in most cases for you to perform better, you have to perform better before the eyes of the boss. If you don't perform better in the eyes of the boss, you are not performing. Despite you bringing all the numbers, or despite you clocking all the time, or despite you clocking all the overtime, if you are not doing good in front of the boss, then slowly you may be candidate of quitting because you can no longer tolerate the environment. Yes, you are bringing the numbers, but those numbers are not recognized, and if they are not recognized, then you are not eligible for promotion. And if you are not eligible for promotion, you will always feel like you have been shortchanged, and you will always be angry about your job, and this grumpiness could lead you to slowly quit your job. But since you need that paycheck, then what do? You just make sure, yes, I'll be going to that work, I'll be clocking the expected time, but immediately the time for going home reach, it's like you are sitting on a time bomb, like you are slowly waiting. I can't wait for 5 to reach before I get up this God-forsaken place. So another thing that is making people to slowly quit their job is the realization that at your job you are dispensable, and at any moment you can be kicked out, and the replacements are everywhere, and so that means that you are no longer the star that you thought you can be. After 2019, when everybody was working from home, that's the time people realized that they are not that important in their job, and as a result, so many people are realizing that since they are no longer that important at the job, then the job no longer hold them with the high esteem that it used to. So that means you can you can be easily kicked out of that job if you no longer perform as expected. And since the only thing that the job care about you is if you're very productive, then if you show any signs of slowing down, then you are liable for being kicked out. And as a result, people have realized, hey, I don't have a future, and my future is not secured in this place. So what they have started doing is, if they didn't have maybe a side hustle or something that they can do after job, most of the people have started realizing that they can start maybe something at home, and then they can be doing it after job. That's why most people in the evening, they can't wait to get out of that place to go work on their side hustle. Another thing that is making people to slowly quit their job is that the salary no longer handle all the bills that they have to pay at home. That means they either have to get a second job, or if they can't get a second job, they have to learn a skill, and that skill can maybe be used to supplement their income. Okay, nowadays, the amount of money being paid by companies is no longer sustainable. As a result, very few people can afford to save anything, because once everything has, once all the bills has been paid, like rent, maybe you have a mortgage, maybe you have a car, once everything has been paid, the little that is left for you to maybe save is not there. Since you can't see any future with the job, then you have to start looking for something that you can do after the job, or you have to start looking for something to supplement your income in order for you to remain in that job. As a result, so many people have resorted to maybe working online jobs. Some of people have become virtual assistants, others have become content writers, others have even become part-time content creators. So in the evening, all that you have to wait is, hey, I can't wait to get out of this job to go work on my project. I can't wait for me to get out of this place to maybe go spend time with my family. Okay, that brings us to another thing that has made so many people to quit their job. Most people used to care so much about their job, and they neglected family. After 2019, people realized how important the family is to them. And as a result, those people used to maybe work so hard and forget about their family. They're starting to realize that without family, you're nothing. Because the family is the only thing that you can fall back to in case of anything. And as a result, so many people who never who usually put so much priority about the work, have now started to realize, hey, I've been neglecting my family. I no longer have time for my family. I no longer play with Junior. I no longer play with Toto. I no longer have enough time maybe for my Toto. So, and with that, they have to slowly started to quit. Quitting is where yes, you are at work. Yes, you are doing your work. But the only thing that is making you to go to that work is the pay. If were it not for the pay, you would be out of that place fast. I don't know what are some of the reasons that maybe could be the reason why you have quit, because I know you have quit. The work no longer gives you the same passion that it used to. So it's something that maybe you're experiencing. You can give us your experience through the comment section. If you feel this content is for you, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Enjoy your day.